My dear friends, my name is Jacob Fiveash, and welcome to Uncaged Zootours. If you are new to the channel and love animals, I recommend and appreciate you hitting the like, subscribe, and bell icons to join me on my tours. Today, we're heading back to Ohio for another tour at the Cincinnati Zoo. There's lots to see, from Fiona the hippo to a nocturnal house, and even tons of history behind it. Our last tour was at Elephant Reserve, but today we'll be visiting one of my favorite exhibits, World of the Insect. This exhibit opened in 1978 and became the first zoo building in the United States to focus on insects, other invertebrates, and even a few other small surprises. We'll learn about many not so creepy crawlies. Let's begin. World of the Insect is located to the right of Night Hunters and the Passenger Pigeon Memorial, and to the left of Lemur Lookout and Dragons. The first section of the building is, what is an insect? Well, to answer that question, insects, like green leaf cockroaches, have 6 legs and are composed of 3 sections: the head, the thorax, and abdomen. Some insects, like these emerald beetles, have wings, but all insects have an exoskeleton. It's a tough, protective outer shell that supports their bodies. On the other hand, the desert rainworm isn't an insect or a worm. It's a millipede from the deserts of the southwestern United States that lives most of its life underground. Then, there's the dead leaf mantis. In the mantis world, the females are bigger than the males, and sometimes the female will eat the male when given the chance. Following a brown recluse spider is another bug from the southwestern United States. Say hello to the blue death feigning beetle. Like an opossum, a blue death feigning beetle will play dead, like their name implies, to trick predators. These beetles are blue because of a wax that keeps them hydrated in their desert home. Following that is the zebra bug, who looks great in stripes, but their colorful pattern warns predators that if they get too close, it will release an eye and nose burning chemical. White-eyed assassin bugs also have colors to remind predators to stay away. However, the bugs deliver a venomous bite if predators get too close. Next up is our first emperor scorpion. These scorpions can glow under ultraviolet light thanks to the hyaline layer of their skeleton, but only younger emperor scorpions sting prey, and adults save the stinging for defense. The next exhibit contains Madagascar hissing cockroaches, taxicab beetles, and magnificent flower beetles. All of these insects come from parts of Africa, but right next door is a Derbiana flower beetle. Only the males grow T-shaped horns that they use for fighting and digging, while in its larva stage, the beetles will eat broken down leaf litter, which helps recycle nutrients back into the soil. Section number 2 is Success of the Insect, which is home to a giant African millipede. It has 240 legs and moves very slowly. To protect itself, the millipede's body is lined with defense glands that secrete a foul-tasting liquid when it's disturbed. Following that is a Brazilian white-kneed tarantula. A female can lay 50 to 200 eggs in an egg sac, and can pounce on prey, delivering a venomous bite. Despite this, these tarantulas only defend themselves when they feel threatened. Then there's the thorny devil stick insect, which is covered in spines, and when threatened, it clamps down with their spines and releases a stinky skunk-like odor. Like Derbiana flower beetles, male striped love beetles also use their horns for digging and fighting. The third section is what insects eat. Many insects have their own ways of eating. For example, red-eyed assassin bugs have a beak-like mouth that impales prey and releases digestive enzymes. There's also more taxicab beetles and even a red-knee tarantula. Tarantulas mainly hunt at night and wait for their prey to get close enough. Then, tarantulas kill their prey with their fangs and can crush them with their mouthpieces. Like other mantises, the orchid mantis catches its prey with its long, spiky forearms. Then there's a domino roach. They use mimicry, which is where one animal resembles another to avoid predators. In this case, domino roaches bear a resemblance to a six-spotted ground beetle, which can spray an irritating chemical when threatened. Then there are some Texas bullet ants. These ants can lay down chemical trails to lead their friends to food. They also return to the nest carrying insect prey or nectar. However, a bullet ant sting is so painful that it can last for 24 hours. Section 4 is insects as food, which contains a lot of insect predators, like chuckwallas, blue spiny lizards, a Chinese crocodile lizard, a Madagascar giant day gecko, a Solomon Island leaf frog, a rough green snake, a fire-bellied newt, and a black-breasted leaf turtle. Next up is defense and escape, which is home to some bat cave cockroaches and the giant jumping stick. These insects aren't stick insects. Instead, they're a kind of grasshopper, and their eyes help give them a panoramic view of the world around them. Section number 6 is insects in water, home to some marbled crayfish. Crayfish are crustaceans, and like insects and arachnids are arthropods. Marbled crayfish look like a tiny lobster, and are only 2 to 3 inches long. These crayfish hide in aquatic plants to avoid predators. There are also giant water bugs, sunburst diving beetles, cherry shrimp, and one of the most unique animals in the building, nakedmolerats. These mammals have a very similar family structure to termites. Only one dominant female is the mother of all the babies. She may give birth to a dozen or even a few hundred. The queen nakedmolerat will only mate with a few males, and the rest work on trying to expand their underground home. Some of the nakedmolerats are drafted as soldiers, and they sniff out other nakedmolerats to make sure they're friend or foe. Other nakedmolerats are tasked with babysitting, digging, or looking for food. Speaking of digging, a nakedmolerat's teeth are on the outside of their mouth so that they don't accidentally eat any dirt. Then there is egg to adult, which has a Baja whip spider and our first Hercules beetle. These beetles live in Central and South America and spend most of their lives as larvae. It can take a Hercules beetle larva 2 years to turn into an adult. Adult captive Hercules beetles only live for 3 to 6 months, and like the Derbiana flower beetle, only males have those cool horns. An adult Hercules beetle can lift things 100 times its size. They can also fly, but not very well. Hercules beetles are also a kind of scarab beetle, and are related to rhinoceros beetles, dung beetles, elephant beetles, and atlas beetles. Our next section is insect lifestyles, home to some giant walking stick insects. A female giant walking stick insect is only 15 inches long, and like their name implies, is one of the largest stick insects in the world. There are 3,000 species of stick insects all around the world, and almost all of them use camouflage to avoid predators. Like the giant stick insect, the rhinoceros katydid, the Peruvian fire stick, peppered roach, and salmon pink tarantula are all arthropods. In fact, there are 1.5 million different kinds of arthropods around the world, making it the largest group of animals in the world. For example, Eastern lubber grasshoppers are one of 11,000 species of grasshoppers. Grasshoppers have powerful elastic leg muscles that can lock and load like a catapult, which helps them jump up to 30 inches away from predators. Unlike crickets, grasshoppers have shorter antennae and mainly eat plants. Grasshoppers also produce sounds by rubbing their hind legs against their front wings. Following some yellow-bellied beetles is a colony of leafcutter ants. A leafcutter ant colony has a single queen that lays all the eggs and up to 8 million workers that forage for leaves and use said leaves as a fertilizer for a fungus. A worker ant can carry leaf pieces that are 20 times their own weight. Some of the worker ants are on forager duty, which means their jaw vibrates 1,000 times a second to cut leaf pieces. There are also larger worker ants that help with colony defense and smaller ones that help raise the kids. But do the ants bump into each other while working? Yes, but scientists suggest that the ants actually exchange information when they bump into each other. Like other ant species, leafcutter ants also communicate using pheromones. These are chemical signals that ants use to guide each other to food, alert others of danger, and even recognize each other. Following these dragon-headed katydids is our final section, the butterfly aviary, home to tons of butterflies. Unlike other insects, butterflies only eat liquids using a straw-like organ called a proboscis. Butterflies love to eat nectar, fruit juice, and even nutrients from mud puddles. Butterflies also have sensors on their feet that allow them to taste. Some butterflies can travel long distances, like the painted lady, which migrates from Europe to northern Africa. And that officially wraps up our tour of World of the Insect. I would highly recommend checking this exhibit out if you want to learn about insects and their arthropod cousins. Our next tour at the Cincinnati Zoo will be a 2-in-1 tour of African Penguin Point and Wolf Woods. We'll see African penguins, cormorants, otters, wolves, and even a barred owl. Today's question is, what was your favorite arthropod to learn about? Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you next time. You're smart, creative, and kind.